How are you? Good to see you.
Manny Pacquiao is making a real comeback, and this time, it's not an exhibition or charity match. At 46, the Filipino legend is entering the ring for an official fight. The gloves are on, the records count, and his legacy is on the line. His opponent? Mario Barrios, a rising star who pushed Gervonta Tank Davis to the limit and recently won a welterweight title. But here's the shocker. Floyd Mayweather showed up at the Wild Card Gym in LA, the very place where Manny's career took off with Freddie Roach in the early 2000s. That gym is like holy ground for Pacquiao, so when Floyd walked in during an intense sparring session, everyone was stunned.
Still there, Manny Pacquiao getting back in the ring again for a world title fight.
Well, obviously, you know, it has to be pertaining to any kind of money. You know, it has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money. One, two. I think Manny Pacquiao, I think his C game is a lot better than anybody, a lot of guys' A game, even with the age. But you have to take into account the last time he stepped foot in that ring against Ugas. You know, he didn't look good. He was outmatched by, you know, a fighter, a younger fighter. Barrios is no slouch. Barrios is a young fighter, you know, bigger fighter, knows how to, you know, control distance very well, can punch a little bit. Like, he's no easy task for anybody in the welterweight division. And for Manny to come back after this long and to face a young guy like that is dangerous. And sometimes, you know, these old legends...
Here's the truth. Manny Pacquiao's return to fight Mario Barrios is way more intense than anyone expected. He's not training like a retired icon. He's preparing like a fighter hungry for battle, like someone with something to prove. And when Floyd Mayweather walked into that gym, everything shifted. The energy changed. The room went quiet. But the big questions remain. Why did Floyd show up? Why now? And what could this mean for boxing, for Barrios, and maybe even a rematch between Mayweather and Pacquiao? Let's dive into it. Everyone thought Manny was truly done after that loss to Dennis Ugas. His speed had dropped, the power wasn't the same, and he walked away from boxing with a senator's smile and a politician's wave. But behind the scenes, something was still burning. And when the name Mario Barrios came up, that competitive fire in Pacquiao roared back to life.
147, kind of a weird spot right now. We're looking at Manny Pacquiao potentially facing Mario Barrios. What do you think of that fight?
Yeah, I think that, you know, it's a very contentious subject. Like, you know, people moaning about Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat most fighters in the top 20 at 147 pounds. He's clearly not the fighter that he once was. You're not going to be at that age. My problem is that he's been inactive for quite a long time. Like, we were talking about fighting him with Conor Benn maybe 6 months ago or a year. And
Barrios, the same guy who went toe-to-toe with Gervonta Davis and made it a tough fight despite the loss, is no pushover. He's big, young, and hungry. This isn't an exhibition or a show for the fans. This is Pacquiao risking his name and legacy in a real, official fight to prove he's still got what it takes. Now let's talk about his training. Pacquiao is going all out in the gym. He's doing back-to-back 8-round sparring sessions with tough opponents, non-stop mitt work, and intense conditioning that looks straight out of the military. And yes, the footwork is still sharp, the speed is still unreal. At 45, he's not washed up or clinging to the past. He's focused, dialed in, and looking like something out of a Marvel movie. Let's be honest, Floyd Mayweather doesn't do anything without a reason. If he showed up at Pacquiao's training camp, it wasn't out of respect or support. More likely, he was there to keep an eye on things. Word is, Floyd's camp didn't expect Manny to be this sharp, this focused. There are even rumors that Mayweather Promotions has plans for Barrios, maybe lining him up for a future rematch with Gervonta Davis. But if Pacquiao dominates Barrios, that whole plan could fall apart. Floyd might have walked in to get a first-hand look before things get shaken up. And don't forget, their 2015 fight ended with Floyd winning. But the controversy never really died. The fans never got closure, and maybe Floyd didn't either. Could this be the start of something bigger? So when Floyd showed up to see things for himself, it felt like more than just a visit. It was a calculated move, like he wanted to see up close what Pacquiao's really bringing to the table.
We talk about TBE, it's for a reason now. One thing about him, he's a hell of a fighter. You know, when we talk about Hall of Famer, he's a Hall of Famer. But nobody has the remedy on how to beat Floyd Mayweather. Don't let them trick you into getting your ass whooped again.
It wasn't just a friendly visit, it was something more. The moment that clip of Floyd walking into Manny's gym hit the internet, things blew up. You don't make an entrance like that unless there's something bigger on your mind. That's what fans are saying, and they might be right.
We got Floyd Money Mayweather walking through United States home in Miami. Got my man GT. You know what the vibes are like when GT walk in the gym? That's but Hall of Fame coach.
Here's the math. Floyd's still doing exhibitions, fighting influencers and MMA names for massive paydays. Meanwhile, Manny is putting everything on the line against a legit, active contender. And with the way he's training, this doesn't look like a one-time comeback. It looks like he's making a statement. So if Pacquiao dominates Barrios and looks elite doing it, what's stopping him from calling out Floyd directly? And if Floyd was even a little shaken by what he saw in that gym, he might actually say yes. Money talks, ego talks louder, and legacy? That screams.
Winner versus winner, they make this, and if we watch box, like how many years we're waiting, like Pacquiao versus Mayweather, how many years we're waiting, Wilder versus Tyson Fury, they have like 100-0, 100-0, like people beg, hey, please make this fight, and it's like...
Plus, word is Floyd didn't just stop by Wild Card Gym to make an appearance. He actually pulled Manny aside and shared some advice about getting back in the ring at this stage in life. Say what you want about Floyd, but he stays active, even if it's just exhibitions in Dubai or showcase fights in Japan.
Case my talent and give people just a glimpse of, what I was doing when I was at the height of my career. When I was at the pinnacle of my career. So just being able to just travel the world and put on shows, put on exhibition bouts, and still sell out arenas. It's a great feeling. But the fans love it. Now, I truly believe if I took a lot of abuse in the sport of boxing throughout my career, then I probably wouldn't still be doing exhibitions or putting on boxing showcases. But I didn't really take no abuse in the sport of boxing, so I feel like I can continue to go out there, have fun, and put on shows throughout the world.
He knows what it's like to step back in the ring when your body isn't 25 anymore. Sources say Floyd had a real conversation with Manny. No hype, just honest talk about how tough a full, sanctioned fight is when you're nearing 50. From timing and reflexes to stamina and fight IQ, it's a different challenge now. And even though they've been rivals for years, there's a level of respect between them. Floyd understands what it takes to stay sharp, and this time, it seems like he wasn't keeping that knowledge to himself. Let's be clear, this comeback is a huge risk. Pacquiao is 45, hasn't fought in years, and he's stepping in against Barrios, who's younger, taller, longer, and actively fighting. If Manny loses, it's not just another defeat. It could be the final chapter of his boxing legacy as we know it.
Don't like it. I think Pacquiao, I mean, obviously, he's definitely one of the legends. He's amazing fight. He's also old. Everyone keeps bringing it up. He's just getting old. And I mean, you could be old and fight, but Errol Spence's, I think he's at his prime. I think he's a really good fighter. Even though he did have a long layoff in his price and everything, I think Errol Spence can fight. And I don't think that's something Pacquiao should run into, because you're fighting a young, hungry guy who wants to get back up top because he had that long layoff. And you've already had that top. You've already been at the top. You've already had that. So I don't see him getting anything out of it except for like the paycheck, obviously. But I think he should take it. I think he's old and he should just start calming down from the fighting aspect.
But if he wins, especially if he dominates, it could go down as one of the wildest late career stories in boxing. Think Michael Jordan on the Wizards, but imagine MJ dropping 40 on Kobe in 2003. That's the kind of shockwave Pacquiao could send through the sport.
So what do you tell him now? He's going to be the 47th president. He's a big boxing fan. Of course, supporting him of his administration.
Pacquiao's not coming back just to cruise. He's coming back to make a statement. And Floyd showing up like that might have been the spark that set it all off. Now let's talk about the guy actually facing Manny. Barrios is in a tough spot. If he wins, people will say, "So what? You beat a 46-year-old." If he loses, it's, "Wow, you got dropped by a retired senator who hasn't fought in years." Either way, Twitter's not going to be kind. But that's exactly what makes this fight so dangerous. Barrios has nothing to lose and everything to gain. He's got the size, the youth, and he's battle-tested. He knows this is his chance to make a name for himself. If he pulls off the upset and stops Pacquiao, his career blows up overnight. But if he gets outclassed, he's just another chapter in Manny's redemption or revenge story. People say Floyd is always 10 steps ahead, and most of the time, they're not wrong.
You know, I guess there's two questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title? I guess that's another question. In the commercial world of boxing, the answer is yeah, probably. In the ratings world and activity world, the answer is probably not.
Do you think it's strange that he's coming off the couch and getting a title fight like that?
I think when you've achieved what he's achieved, you've always got the right to do things a little bit differently.
So why would Floyd insert himself into this storyline? Because he sees what's happening. Boxing is heating up again, with Tank versus Bud, Canelo possibly facing Bud, and Jake Paul fighting anyone with a name. The sport's back in the spotlight. Floyd knows that if Manny wins in a big way, a rematch becomes the biggest payday left in boxing. Especially now, with both of them being legends beyond belts and titles.
It was crazy that everybody keep asking me, why you not coming back to fight? Why you not coming back to fight? So I look at the fight game, I said, okay. I said, you know, fighters fight, they make 3 million, 4 million, 6 million, 7 million. Some may make 10 or 20.
He might act like he's unbothered, but showing up at that gym says otherwise. That's presence, that's energy, that's Floyd keeping tabs. You don't check in on someone you think is finished unless part of you believes they're not. This isn't about belts anymore. It's about legacy. It's about unfinished business. And above all, it's about pride. Floyd and Manny ruled an entire era. They built empires, made history, and changed the sport forever. And just when it felt like their stories were finished, they're not. Manny's clearly not done, and Floyd might have to leave his exhibition bubble to revisit a chapter he never fully closed. Pacquiao's coming back with real fire, and Floyd knows it. The second Mayweather walked into that gym, this comeback stopped being just a fight. It got personal.
What's up, guys? So, it looks like Manny Pacquiao is going to return thanks to Happy Punch putting out this information. Go check them out on Twitter or X. It says WBC president announces Mario Barrios, hopefully I'm saying that right, will defend his welterweight title against Manny Pacquiao in July. So Manny Pacquiao is returning and automatically getting a title shot. That doesn't seem like a fair thing to happen, but I guess that's what we're going to get. I haven't watched Manny Pacquiao in a few years. Like, I don't remember. I didn't watch his last couple fights, and but I don't think he's getting older, and yeah, maybe he can beat this guy, but I just don't think it's gonna happen. Like, I thought he retired, and now he's coming back out. All these boxers are coming back out of retirement. Tyson Fury retired, and now he's wanting a rematch against the champ again for the third time. But here we go again. Another retired boxer coming back out of retirement for a title shot that they really don't deserve because they haven't been around boxing in a while. Huh. Like, comment, and share, guys. If you want to support my channel. Shit, I can't speak. Holy crap. Anyways, bye, guys.
Manny Pacquiao is officially locked in for July 19th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, fighting for the WBC welterweight title, nearly 4 years after his last professional bout. He's been cleared by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, and WBC President Mauricio Suleiman confirmed the fight during the Canelo vs. Munguia event in Saudi Arabia. Pacquiao's return will air as a PBC on Prime Video pay-per-view, which means it's a major event. And if Manny pulls off the win, he won't just be a Hall of Famer. He's already set for induction next month. He'll be a 46-year-old world champion. That might just be the craziest mic drop in boxing history. So what do you think? Did Floyd show up to support, to scout, or to send a silent message to his old rival? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This story is just getting started. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell, because the moment Manny or Floyd makes their next move, we'll be here to break it all down. Catch you in the next video.